Who says that Netflix is for couch potatoes? A new in-house survey showing half the respondents are willing to exercise if they could also watch Netflix. Makes perfect sense to me. To Yu-Dee Chang and Lori Rothman on if Netflix in the gym would make an even better stock. Lori, what do you think? I mean, you're a workout phenomenon.
Well, I wouldn't say phenomenon.
You work out all the time.
And
you're ripped. I know it. I've seen it.
Seen my gun?
Yes.
Listen, I like music. We've had iPods, iPhones, TVs in the gym for years. I don't think having Netflix. I mean, if they're basing this survey on people's habits of binge watching shows, who's going to sit on a treadmill or an elliptical or a spin or whatever for 8 hours watching an entire program?
I don't know, Yu-Dee. I mean, you get sucked into these binge I totally understand this. You get sucked into binge viewing. You're sitting there and you're like, I can make it to the end of the episode and stay on the treadmill. I mean, I actually think it was an in-house survey, so right there I'm suspicious because I'm not.
Key, right?
Netflix is telling you sign up and spend money and you'll get thin. Perfect. It's the best products out there. But there is a little logic behind it.
Yeah, but not only that, but don't forget, 25% of the people surveyed, they like sitcoms, the other 25% likes fantasy, right? So maybe they're fantasizing they'll exercise more, but they really wouldn't. But, you know, the truth of the matter is, don't forget the other flip side of it, right? So a lot of health expert also says one of the main benefits of exercising is to focus on what you're doing. So while watching TV and not focusing is probably going to be counterproductive, thus you have to exercise longer.
I don't know, Lori. That's asking an awful lot.
No
I mean, they're
kidding.
saying you've got to exercise and work out and focus on it at the same time. The only way I stay on the machine is if I have something entertaining in front of me.
To distract you from it.
From the fact that I'm sitting there and running on a treadmill and not making any headway.
Netflix is an investment opportunity, right? It was the best performer, one of the best performers on the S&P 500. It was up, like 4 times in stock prices here. So what does it need to put out this ridiculous study for? I mean, the stock is doing
because they only charge $7.99 a month.
But
and I don't know how that's
their new pricing strategy, which a lot of people are on board with. So
yeah, 3 tiers.
What a turnaround for this.
All right, you sold me. Day 1 of legalized pot sales in Colorado, and business is blazing. Shocker. If this marijuana craze catches on, how can investors cash in? Maybe they can buy PepsiCo stock because Doritos and Cheetos will be flying off the shelves. That makes a lot of sense. Or Yum brands, because late-night Taco Bell runs will become way more popular. Yu-Dee, what do you make of this?
Oh, I don't know. I've been thinking about that all day, you know. One industry, well, the first day rolling out, I think they had some problem with pricing and with inventory. So I know one industry definitely could not be helping out is the airline industry, right? So I'm thinking about who could benefit from it. Maybe McDonald's. So you go to McDonald's, you get a kid's meal, some toys. You get an adult meal, maybe you get a joint or something. Or maybe Starbucks. You know, you could go to Starbucks, get a, I don't know, triple infused dark roast.
I guess, but I don't know if you want a lot of caffeine when you're smoking dope, right? Doesn't that kind of have the opposite
Don't
impact?
look at me. I don't know.
I'm asking you specifically. I thought this was your specialty, Lori. No?
Oh, gosh. Well, listen, if you want to make money on this legalization, just
become
sell
a
the
dealer.
pot itself. Exactly. I mean, it's going for such a premium because, to Yu-Dee's point, I mean, demand is certainly outstripping supply. But here's my take on this.
Yeah.
Weed equals fresh powder. Invest in the ski resorts. MTM, that's Vail Resorts. I think it's interesting. Vail, Breckenridge, Beaver Creek, owned by Vail Resorts.
Why are you saying that skiers are stoners? Because you're a big skier.
No, I am
so
not making a blanket statement about that. I'm just saying that there's a connection of the culture that a lot of people who partake in the weed also enjoy the fresh powder.
Yeah,
oh,
right, Lori. I like that. You know, going down the double black diamonds, smoking a joint. I don't think that's the way to go.
Well, you've got to be relaxed. You don't want to be nervous.
I get. You're really. I mean, you're a huge skier. You're really telling us a lot about yourself. I have to tell you, we're Southern California girls. The surfers like the weed as well. So, right?
But is there an ocean in Colorado?
No.
Yeah. So you can't really.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right. Oh, thank goodness. Saved by the music. There's the nightcap. Lori, what are you watching?
So, you know the January effect, right? This phenomenon where investors redeploy their capital because they've done this tax loss selling to offset the gains they've made. And you know there were monster gains last year for the stock market. So everybody's putting their money back into the U.S. stock market. And obviously the economy's on the right track. We've had some good data indicators, labor, retail, et cetera. So small cap stocks do really well in this environment. So January effect, small cap stocks, that's what I'm keeping an eye on.
I like that. Yu-Dee, what about you?
You know what? I think I'm watching the Fed over the next 2 days. There will be 5 FOMC members speaking in 3 different functions. I think people are not necessarily complacent with the market, but complacent with the tapering. I don't think tapering is going to be as smooth. So I want to listen to the Fed.
Why do you think it's not going to be smooth? We had a little taste of it. Now I feel like everyone's gotten frightened of nothing.
Well, that's the problem, though. They're taking away $75 billion, and everybody's saying, including myself a little bit, saying it's just not a big deal. But it is a big deal. You put that money in, you help the economy and the market, now you're taking it out. It's going to have some effect on the economy, thus bring some volatility back into the market.
Lori, what do you think about that? I mean, does it have an impact on the market, or does it, I mean, do we, I don't know.
I think it's priced in largely. I think if you want to see a reaction for it, we're seeing interest rates come up a little bit. But again, I think everyone's, to your point, we got a little taste of it, we survived, and now we move on. And I think the Fed's out of the way. I think we're in a nice place for a transition with this January effect coming in. It should be a good first quarter.
Yu-Dee, you like Lori's small cap idea real quick before we go?
Yeah, I do. January effect is no doubt about it. I think it's more a January effect is more that small cap is going to outperform the large cap. So if the market were to go down, the small cap should go down less. If the market were to go up, small cap will go up more. So I think buying the small cap and selling the large cap is even a shorter trade.
Thanks to both of you so much. Appreciate it. A lot of fun being here for Neil Cavuto, but you can catch me every day at 5 p.m. Eastern right here on Fox Business Money with Melissa Francis. In the meantime, have a great night.